As the update continues, talking with District Administrator Mike Hanson. Mike, we want to talk about what went on at your school board meeting this past Monday, and it was a week later than normal. Why was that?
Yeah, so we had some administrators out, and so we moved that down to our the fourth week here in June. So one of those rare occasions, I think almost one of the first times in my 5 years so far being here to move that. But we sure appreciated making sure we get our Board Academy for June and our regular meeting on June 23rd, and we had a very active meeting. You know, it's always great to start our meetings with recognitions,
Yep.
and while we absolutely recognize our FFA, they also were there to talk about the great overnight and out-of-state trips that they'd take that really impact their program. So we had a wonderful discussion from the students that were there. I want to thank the students that showed up, because that's not an easy thing to do to
Yeah.
speak, but that's
Yeah.
really what they train to do. Our FFA kids do so much, and also our FFA advisors were there as well. So the board and those in attendance got to learn more about the local, state, the national level activities that they'll be doing from now, straight through to next July. So you get to hear about those great trips, hear right directly from the students how it's impacted them, and then the impact to the program from our advisors. I had the opportunity to check out the national convention in Indianapolis last year. Just tremendous, tens of thousands of FFA students. So wonderful that our local chapter can continue to do that. And it's a very solid, strong chapter here in Tomah. So the board approved all of those fantastic opportunities for FFA. And then another wonderful opportunity coming out of our high school, Mrs. Morgan Ellsworth, one of our art teachers there, she has arranged a trip overseas to Italy.
Wow.
Working through the arts and the architecture right in that lane, open to all Tomah High School students, especially those that really enjoy arts and architecture. Very similar to what we've had our German club and our Spanish clubs. They're doing a lot of those international trips. And so I want to really thank our THS faculty, administration at the high school, and absolutely our board for approving those, because for those students that do want to take part, there's an opportunity to have access to that, and maybe something that will really be pivotal in their life, doing something that during their high school years. So the board approved both of those out-of-state runs there. So doing well there. Gosh, what else are we doing? We always have a lot of other things to recognize. Can I jump into those
Yeah.
that are supporting
Go right ahead.
our district on a monthly basis? We do like to highlight everything our folks are doing, promoting our student organizations and the access to great things. And we want to thank James and Joanne Cram for a donation to the high school building trades class for the high school positive activity fund in the amount of $400. Our Tomah Sports Boosters, a donation for the tennis backboard, $4,780. And also from the Tomah Sports Boosters, a donation for the 50 padded chairs and the rack, $7,920. At the board meeting I said those are fantastic. I got to sit in one of those for graduation. They're up and ready to go, and we'll use them for all of our events. They're branded, they look fabulous, and so we want to thank the Crams and the Tomah Boosters for all that they're doing, because that is impacting a whole lot of students, a lot of faculty, and really makes our organization shine with their support. And so each and every month we'll bring those, and we want to thank everybody who's been doing that year over year. Gosh, we are also busy with employee hiring. This is our season, really started back in March and April with hiring, so we're getting close to the start of our new year. And so we have about 15 positions open right now, and I walked through those, a few at our elementary, a couple, 2, 3 at the middle school, and one over at the high school. And speaking of the high school, we're excited to have Dr. Lee is the incoming principal for Tomah High School. He'll assume his duties on July 1st. We have some information out on our website with Dr. Lee and where he's been, and looking forward to him starting there at the high school. And we'll miss Mr. Joyce tremendously, and I had the opportunity to thank him at graduation. So wonderful, powerful leadership over the years, and our expectations continue to be high for excellence moving forward.
Mike, out of curiosity, how many people applied for that position?
Gosh, off the top of my head, maybe 10 to 12, 15, somewhere in there. Yeah.
And
Sorry, I don't have that exact figure.
And the school board makes the call who the new principal is?
Yes,
That's how
we
it
have
all
our
comes
committee
together?
structures there, and we had a
Okay.
wonderful group of about 30 plus people in that interview, from a parents, students, high school faculty, administration, board representation, and then the full board acts on the contract.
Well, when you started this job years ago, you went through that, so you know, I mean, you've been there.
Absolutely, yes, you
You've
bet,
been there,
you
yeah.
bet. It's a process, but a very good one. So we're very appreciative of those that were part of the interview process, and like I said, we've had exceptional, strong leadership in the past, and that expectation moving forward for the future.
Mike, you also touched on some federal funding. What's that all about?
Yes, Michelle Clark, our business manager, always knocks it out of the park. She does such a fantastic job with so many fiscal HR related items. So she brought together a presentation that should be out there for everyone to see. We get about $1.7 million of annual flow through of federal funds, and so those come in the realm of special education, Title I, food service, those grants that are appropriated not only by the federal government, but we also have those from our state as well. And DPI will, they promoted social and emotional learning through the Stronger Connection grant. We've got this wonderful program through grant funding with Rachel's Challenge. You may have heard of Rachel's Closet.
Yeah.
So that piece has been so powerful, and I've seen that in action. So our grants are so important to our overall budget. We run about $44 million in that. So our grant monies are sizable, very sizable. So we always monitor and do strong work in the formula grants that might be based off of our student population, or free and reduced lunch need, to just those grants that are awarded by DPI for unique or special programming. So they come in all shapes and sizes. Some are certainly tied to specific things that you need to do, and most are, to those core academic pieces, teacher engagement, teacher PD, all the way to our food service. And we want to thank all of our administrators who manage those. They are huge. There are very scripted pieces that you have to do. The monitoring, from the application to the monitoring to the expenditure to the post reporting, it's huge. So you've got a team with Michelle, Jess Bender, Angela Pluger. Gosh, I'm missing a lot of people, and that's what and also our Board of Education. Want to thank them for those approval processes. And when I first arrived, it was almost $5 million of ESSER funding. And so the administrative team there wonderfully, masterfully applied for those and moved those forward. So we expended all of that, and it takes a strong team to do that. So we've got a lot of folks doing that here.
You may have already touched on, but as far as this federal funding you just touched on, how much does enrollment come into play there, Mike?
Sure. So enrollment, I'll just speak to impact aid. Enrollment is that enrollment is based on our federally connected students, also through military presence or uniformed services or different tribal affiliations, housing affiliations. So those would certainly be tied there. Some of the Stronger Connection grants from DPI, for example, those would be built around how many students will be served, and here's your allocation based on those numbers. And certainly our free and reduced, our lunch program, we get a lot of different federal funding through that, and state funding, so that's certainly tied to all the reports that are filed. And as we get closer to the start of the school year, we'll talk in a moment about that. We definitely want everybody to fill those forms out. Absolutely so important, because you hit the nail on the head, Greg. We are driven, those grants are driven by student enrollment, and so we gotta have that data, and we wanna champion that from our parents, guardians, and relatives. Hey, have you filled out your forms? Have you got your impact aid form in? Those are so powerful for us because they impact our students.
All right, upcoming school year rolls around just around the corner, and there will be some changes, won't there?
You bet. What is it? Almost July 1, But
exactly.
we've been talking 25, 26, and let's go all the way back, Greg, to January into February. So we'll start first with, we're greatly appreciative of the 11-wire 45-15 calendar. As we watch that move forward, the impact certainly on many levels wasn't there, and certainly the reading Act 20 was a huge piece. So as we took a look at that calendar and how it could work forward, it just wasn't going to be practical with certainly some of the new things that we've got to do with student engagement, reading, etc., but also just the overall movement of the district. So we appreciate everything that went into that. So the 45-15 calendar ended 24-25. all buildings will start on September 1, and our calendar built for 25-26, the board approved one, ends on, gosh, is that May 29, right around in
Right.
there, so May 29. The significant change to the 25-26 would be the early release Wednesday. We have a 1-hour early release every Wednesday. Take a look at that Cranfest one. We shifted a little something
Sure,
there because
sure.
that weekend has always been early release Thursday. So those are all shaded in kind of a brown color there, all the way from September down to May. Those are pivotal that hour for our faculty. Our calendar committee heard from faculty members with our professional learning community framework. Collaboration is huge, so that'll be strong collaboration time, but it's also to impact student learning. We have to be adult learners all the time. We've always got to be learning as adults here in the organization. So that is a professional learning community, adult learners. So when we are stronger at what we do, through that collaborative piece, it'll be professional development, collaboration, and then the impact going forward. So with those Wednesday touch points, we'll also have strong learning, but also strong opportunities to determine the impact of that learning on student achievement. So it's going to be a really strong piece for us. I sent some information out back in January to our parents and guardians. So it is a 1-hour early release, and I've got some of the different, we also had a full page howl go out in March on that. But you can find all of our calendar information, and our new handbooks have been updated. Middle school and high school have a bit more information to those, so they had a couple of enhancements there. Those will be posted soon, and our calendars are out there. So great opportunities. You know, Greg, as we talk about 25-26, the Board of Education also approved a 4K all day, 4-day structure. So
Yes,
I thank you for
yes.
letting me go slow there.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that
But
up.
it's
I'm
so-
glad you brought that up.
So powerful. Our 4K teachers are knocking it out of the park, and our little guys, that is such a great time for them to be in such active spaces. We've done some great things in the past on Monday, Tuesdays, Thursday, Fridays, all day 4K. It will be fantastic. So our board learned more about the developmental possibilities there with our 4K students. So we don't want folks to think it's all academic. Absolutely not. Academics is delivered in different ways to our 4K students. Certainly as our students mature, that type of learning looks different. So you and I learned through play when we were small. So our students still learn through that. But our 4K faculty also have some intense and very strong training. When I go into a 4K classroom, it is absolutely amazing with the different structures that they have to meet the developmental, all of the developmental needs of our students. They're tactile, they're auditory, just there are so many wonderful things going on. So it is very much developmental in process. It's a full day, and we think our parents will appreciate that opportunity. Just no Wednesdays. That will be a time for our teachers to get settled in and have their collaboration, their preparation, and things like that. So we'll see where it goes in the future. Maybe in a few years it'll turn into a 4K 5-day, and I can speed up the presentation a little bit, but 4K 4-day 25-26.
Like, since that word came out, I talked to a lot of parents that will have kids involved with 4K. It's like 50-50. A lot of them like it, a lot of them don't like it. What would you say to them?
I would say absolutely have your child enroll. Absolutely, because we know that we respect the decisions of all parents and guardians. Absolutely, I do honor that. But this opportunity for 4K, 4-day, all day, really provides developmental opportunities that will continue to accelerate and promote and really meet the needs of our 4K students. But absolutely will honor those that maybe that's not the design or setting they prefer.
Jump back to what we touched on earlier. Lemon Wire, you and I talked yesterday. There aren't too many 45-15 schools still in
I
Wisconsin,
believe there
are
are
there?
0.
That's what I thought. And you and I also talked about it, and just to simplify it, you think it's a good thing, right?
Yes, I was a proponent the last 2 years to restructure the buildings so they all start on September 1. As I mentioned, I want to honor the work that had gone into that over those 5 to 6 years that it had been in practice. Certainly Act 20, the Science of Reading, and the developmental pieces, the assessment pathways, the meeting every 10 weeks, which is fabulous. I'm very much a proponent for the science of reading and that pathway to ensure that we continue to elevate literacy rates in the district. So when you bring that into the equation and then bringing all of our transportation, food service, maintenance, just everything that goes into it, it's now one design there, but it was a great opportunity for the district to look at, and like everything in education, it evolves over time.
One final thought, because people knew you and I are going to sit down as we normally do every month, Mike. Not a lot of parents, but some parents said, they brought up Sparta because Sparta is having some construction, so they're starting earlier this year. Mm-hmm. Could Tomah have an option to say, hey, we want to start earlier? Is that an option?
The state of Wisconsin requires a September 1. You can make an application to DPI to say I have construction, or there's something else that's going on. So we did that once in the COVID years. I believe our second year we started in that August. My second year here, that August time frame to get our kids back in and get the learning loss. So you can always make that application. DPI will say yes or no to it.
All right, we're almost in July, as you touched on earlier. How does your everyday routine change in the summer, Mike, or doesn't it?
Right, and I was teasing you today. I'm sorry I didn't have a suit on.
Yeah,
so
no
that's change
today.
number one. And Greg and I were talking about my stream of suits that are all named after Yankee pitchers, because most of them are navy blue. So I would say on a personal side, I just like to tease a little bit on occasion, not in suits, but absolutely will always be professionally ready to go. So today, I'd say maybe not in a suit every day, but 4 out of the 5. And then, right now, absolutely, I want to highlight our maintenance teams. They are rocking and rolling. So many things are happening. Also want to highlight our summer pack program. Learning never stops.
Right.
So we're so proud of our Lisa Culpit and Michelle Clark and the team that puts that together. That is an extraordinary program. When you take a look on our website and click on summer pack, and all of the teachers, our local supporters of education, all of the really fantastic options that our kids over there have. I was at the middle school yesterday all day for meetings, but got to see what they're doing there. So we have a sizable. In the past, it's not uncommon for us to have upwards of 600 plus students in the summer, and that is fantastic to see. So you engage in those weeks of summer pack, so the learning is there, but also those. We're always deep cleaning in and out, every day of the year. But there's those opportune times to get some more, or waxing or other things. You'll see a lot of things in the hallways from the classrooms, then go back out. And we have some teachers transitioning to different rooms as well. So it's a lot of activity.
I think there's a lot more that goes on during the summer than Tomah people realize.
Yes, we're really a year-round operation. Absolutely, as you look at it, as we get into our summer programs and we're prepping for the start of the new year. We'll have our faculty back for their building level meetings, mid-August, and then the last week of August we'll have our in-service. But the administrative team, we're meeting in June and July as well, and we just want to thank our teachers and those other folks, support staff, absolutely our maintenance, transportation. We've got clubs, activities, lots of things going on. And that's what I just want to thank, our Tomah Area School District employees and community for supporting our kids. It's all about the kids.
As we wrap it up with Mike Hansen, Mike, I'm just flash back to what we talked about much earlier. When I was a kid, going to Wisconsin Dells was a big deal. Now we've got kids going to Italy. It's a different world, isn't it?
Isn't it amazing? Yeah. So looking forward to their experiences next year as they look into that. So I want to thank Tomah. Everyone's so supportive. I want to thank everyone.
Tractor pull weekend, you go to that or not?
I'm going to check it out, absolutely. Okay. I hear the rain's going to stop, so that'll be nice. I hope it does.
I also want to get in a plug for the FFA. You touched on them earlier. I guess FFA will be working at the fair to try to raise the money, so they'll be out and about, so look for them.
And thank you for supporting our clubs and organizations that you'll see at different community engagement activities, and that's just a strong sign of our commitment of our students and their advisors, and again, that year-long, year-round engagement.
I mentioned earlier to you 2 weeks ago when we had the Kindness Classic Run Walk here in Tomah, had an opportunity to sit down with and talk to 6 DECA students.
Yes.
And that's quite a program too, isn't it?
It's extraordinary. very much so. So we've got lots of programs out there, and yeah, we'll continue to walk through those opportunities when they come by the school board meetings to talk about the great things they're doing. And thanks for being out there where our kids and advisors are at too, Greg. We appreciate it, and all the support of those viewers that you have.
Well, when we talked yesterday, it wasn't going to be real lengthy, but that changed, didn't it? We had a lot more to talk about than we thought.
When we're getting ready for the new school year, there's a lot to talk about. So thanks so much for the opportunity to champion and speak so powerfully and wonderfully about the great things happening in Tomah.
Mike, thanks again. Appreciate your time.
Pleasure, sir.
As we wrap up the update, we're out here at Recreation Park on a rainy Wednesday prior to the tractor pull starting this Thursday. 50th anniversary of the Dairyland National Tractor Pull, and because of that, the Budweiser Clydesdales will make an appearance here in Tomah. And we hope to talk with somebody involved with the Clydesdales, but if not, we're going to show you some video of the Clydesdales out here at Recreation Park to celebrate the 50th year of the Tractor Pull in Tomah. That's what you'll see next on the update. Alright, it's Tractor Pull weekend. We're down at Recreation Park on a rainy Wednesday. The Clydesdales are going to be here for the 50th year of the Tractor Pull, and we're on the inside right now. We're going to show you some of the video of the Clydesdales making their appearance here in Tomah for Tractor Pull number 50. Budweiser Clydesdales, who originate in St. Louis, Missouri, are down here to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Tomah Tractor Pull going on this weekend. And we're going to show you a little more video of the Clydesdales as the update continues. Clydesdale dogs are also down here too. Those Clydesdales, I think the horse with the dogs are a big part of it, and the dogs are down here also. Again, they're going to be at Recreation Park for the 50th annual Tractor Pull going on this weekend. And in honor of that, the Budweiser, which is a huge sponsor of the Tractor Pull, down here at Recreation Park. On the Clydesdales, as you can see, the size of the team, the size. Consume 60 pounds of hay a day. So on this portion of the update, we've been out at Recreation Park in Tomah on a rainy Wednesday, one day prior to the 50th annual Dairyland National Tractor Pull. And in honor of the 50th anniversary of the Tractor Pull, the Budweiser Clydesdales are here. Now, we had hoped to talk with somebody involved with the Clydesdales, but The person that we needed to get permission to talk to at the time we shot this video was not available. So we would have loved to have that for you, but we did show you some video of the Clydesdales out here at Recreation Park in honor of the 50th anniversary of the tractor pull going on this weekend. We hope you enjoyed it here on The Update.